everybody, welcome back to Reading for Vocabulary. Now we move to a new level, level C. And there are many subjects to talk about. We will talk about science, social studies, health. So those are important. Fine arts. We will find out about painting, sculptures, and artists. Math. That's interesting. And a new subject, entertainment. And in some lesson, they will have some short video. So I hope it will be fun. Let's start our first lesson. Lesson 1. Lesson 1. Animals. And our subject, of course, is science. Lesson 1. In a land before time. What does this mean? Think of it. Human beings invented time. So, before human beings, what was the earth like? What animals has been on the earth? So, in this lesson, we can learn about dinosaurs from their bones. So, what is a dinosaur? You probably know what a dinosaur is. And a dinosaur, and maybe you see them on some television shows, animation, or movies. And of course, a dinosaur looks like a big, terrible lizard, right? And it looks like this. It's really big. Number 1. A hot place with a lot of plants. So, a hot place with a lot of plants, what do we call that environment? We call that environment is jungle. Jungle. So if you go to Southeast Asia or like Vietnam, Thailand, the Philippines, you can see many hot places with a lot of plants. They have many jungles. Jungle. So jungle is a hot place with a lot of plants. Number 2. Oh, this is the opposite of jungle, right? There's snows. And look at this person. They're walking on the snow. And they left marks that made by a foot. It's a mark made by a foot. So, if a person or an animal walk in mud, in snow, or in the sand, they will leave some footprint behind them. Footprint. So this person is leaving many footprints. Okay? So footprint is single. Footprints is many. So be careful. Footprint, a mark made by a foot. And of course, you can't just leave just one footprint unless you jump really far. The bone around your brain. A bone around your brain. So, when someone died, the only thing that left for a long time is the bone. So, the hair, skin, organs, those things dissolve and they go away. Just the bone left for a very long time. So, what do we call the bone around your brain? That is a skull. Skull. S-K-N-O. Skull. Skull. So many times when we think of skull, we think of death. Skull is common of death. So remember the pirate flags is a black flag with skull and crossbones. Skull and crossbones. So black flag with skull and crossbones. The bone that around your brain is a skull. The weather conditions in a certain place. The weather conditions in a certain place. It's sunny and hot. It's cold and snowy. So, how can we describe them? Just one word is climate. And we can ask, what is the climate like? If you make a friend in the internet, if you have a friend in Africa, they'll probably say it's hot and humid. If you have a friend in Finland, they'll probably say it's cold and snowy. So, the weather conditions in a certain place, climate. What is the climate like in your country? To continue to live. If something continue to live, they survive. Survive. So we have two sounds. Survive. Survive. So if someone continue to live, it's survive. Of course, survive is for individual, but also for a group. Of course, individual always die, but if for a group of animals, they can survive for a very long time. So, survive to continue to live. Six, interesting and special. Oh, look at this city. It's an interesting and special city, right? It's a beautiful city. It's remarkable. Remarkable. We have four sounds. Remarkable. Remarkable. It sounds like remarkable. Remarkable. So remarkable, interesting, and special. Remarkable. Seven, to keep from being ruined. To keep from being ruined. If you want to keep something from being ruined, you keep it in an original state or close to an original state. You preserve it. Preserve. Now we have two sounds again. Preserve. Preserve. It looks like serve, but we don't say preserve. We say preserve. Preserve. So, if you want to keep food from being ruined, you keep it in a can. Maybe you can keep it for 2 months later, 4 months later, 6 months later, even a year later. But of course, you can't keep it forever. You have to eat it. So, If you want to keep something from being ruined, you preserve it. Preserve. Oh, what's this strange animal? Maybe you learn it from lessons in school or history, and it's a dodo bird. It's a dodo bird. Have you heard of the dodo bird before? A dodo bird has went extinct. Extinct, no longer in existence. The dodo bird. So if people talk about the word extinct, it's really common to think of the dodo bird. It's a real famous bird that extinct when human beings come to the island where they live. They brought dogs, and dog also hunted the bird too. So extinct, went extinct. So over the Earth history. The Earth history is really, really, really long, and there are many kinds of animals that has been extinct over the Earth's history. Many types of animals. Sometimes animals will leave their evidence that they exist, and the evidence is the remains. What left behind of an animal or plant, not just animal, also plant, and you find it in rocks. So usually animals died in mud, and the mud compressed under pressure, and mud become rock. So the animals or plant made in the rock. What am I talking about? I'm talking about a fossil. So very neat, very interesting, very cool if you find a fossil. So next time when you walk in the country, walk across the field or mountain, if you see some interesting rock, take a look at them. Maybe you find some interesting fossils. Who knows? Maybe. 10. To present in a place. So many times scientists wondering, is there water on Mars? So if water on Mars, water exists on Mars. To be present in a place. So water exists on Mars. You see the North Pole and the South Pole. There are frozen water, ice on there. So water exists on Mars. 11. A small plant with many branches. You see many small plants here. People like to grow them because they form like a little wall. And you usually see it next to the buildings or the park. We call that bush. And if there are many bushes in a line, we call that is a hedge. Not a tree. So tree and bush. If we talk, there's two type of plant that we usually see. One is the tree. Of course, the tree grow big like this, and a bush, a little bush here. So, tree and bush. A small plant with many branches is bush. A climbing plant. A plant that climb? Yes, because they climb their stems or long their branches or long thin stems climb on the walls. So that is a vine. So you usually see vine in old buildings or old brick buildings. You can see a vine. It's really beautiful. Vine has many little hooks and they hook on the walls. A vine. To wind together. You see all dead branches here. So you wind it together like this. You twist it. Twist, wind together. You can wind branches. You can wind your arms. You can wind rope. You can wind or twist many things. You can twist your arms. You can twist rope. You can twist your hair. You can twist or to wind many things together. Wet dirt. This boy is having fun, isn't he? Do you want to have fun like this boy? Is wet dirt, is mud. So there's a festival in Korea that people will go out and play in the mud. It's really cool. Of course, don't step on the mud if you're wearing nice clothes. Your mom will angry if there's mud on your clothes. So mud is really wet. It's wet dirt. An animal that lived long ago but is now extinct. That's one of the words we learned before. Extinct. It doesn't exist anymore. It did not survive. So we already see this animal before in the short video. It's a dinosaur. So a dinosaur is an animal that lived long ago but is now extinct. Dinosaur. It looks like dinosaur, but we said dinosaur. So dinosaur, an animal that lived long ago but is now extinct. It did not survive. It doesn't exist anymore. The last word. A place where you can see many important things. So there are many things that exist long ago, and people take them and display them in a certain place, and we call that place is a museum. A place where you can see many important things. So you can see things from ancient Egypt. Long ago, you can see mummies, and you can also see mummies in the museum too. Or when you go to the Natural History Museum, you can see many kinds of animals that exist a long time ago.